Welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk Podcast. We're picking up the letter quizzes again on Jetpunk in the halftime show today with the second round of all the letters, starting with the letter A through C. But we're having a lot of Hearthstone discussion today. We're going to talk about some alternate heroes proposed by TrashcanTV Discord's own early bird Nether. He gave us the idea to talk about some Hearthstone heroes because we don't have that many currently, and some people are left wondering why so unfrequently new heroes are being added to the game. Starting heroes, that is, not hero cards. Also, a shout out to Chomp Cop, also a member of the TrashcanTV Discord, for suggesting for us to talk about Brexit, Kappa. We're not going to talk that much about Brexit. I don't know what to talk, but thanks for the suggestion anyway.
I mean, is it happening? Is it not happening? No one knows.
No one knows. Is it a giant clusterfuck? Yes, for sure.
That's a Brexit discussion. Let's go to the first topic.
That's all we can talk about. So, first topic. You've already also brought this up sometimes, talking about how some classes haven't gotten alternate hero skins for a long, long time. And when they actually do bring new hero skins into the game, often it's not the most creative ones. We've seen Mecha Jiraxis, which is really just Jiraxis as a mech. We've seen Anoyotron as being reused as a hero.
Yeah, I didn't like Sir Anoyo. No. Mecha Jiraxis was kind of a cool idea. It doesn't fit that well, but it fit with the theme of the expansion. Netherstorm makes sense to connect it to demons a bit. Yeah. Mechs makes sense to make it connected to mechs. Mech plus demon, Mecha Jiraxis. I guess that makes sense.
Demon, so he's a warlock.
So yeah.
Very simple.
Again, the thing that Nether said was that we didn't get a hero with this rotation. And we did get one of the last two. We got Maiev and Lunara in that order.
With the last one, we did get King Rastakhan, but those were the pre-order ones.
Well, yeah, that was a pre-order bonus.
As was Jiraxis and Anoyo.
Exactly. Mecha Jiraxis, Sir Anoyo was part of a bundle.
Yeah.
No, not a pre-order bundle, just a regular.
Okay, yeah, but still a pay one, right?
Yeah, it was paid.
So the free ones are so far on. We had Maiev that one time, and then we had Lunara.
Yeah, other free ones are Murgle. For recruiting a friend. Mm-hmm. You can get Nemzi Necrofizzle for attending a fireside. Well, not even attending a fireside gathering, just. No, it is. I was thinking of the card pack for a second there because the card pack is just having three people in the same LAN.
Yeah, and Nemzi is go to a fireside gathering.
Nemzi is going to a fireside gathering. Arthas you can unlock through the Ice Crown. And I believe that's all the ones you can get for free altogether.
Yeah. And then you have the other guys.
And you could get, back in the day, which is not really free, you could get, what's her face? Tyrande, thank you. From Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
Which apparently we will get another chance to get her this year.
Yeah.
Which I guess...
That's the idea for some of the collectors who want to have all of them. They literally now, because the promotion isn't there anymore... don't have the opportunity to get Tyrande if they haven't gotten it back then.
Well, but the same applies to Maiev and Lunara. You can't get those anymore either. But the problem with Tyrande was just that a lot of people, even back then, couldn't get her because Twitch Prime was still very limited and new.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we didn't get one this rotation, which kind of sucked. We're now getting one with every expansion, it seems. Wait, did we get one? Yeah, we got...
the hero card.
We got... Lazul with Rise of Shadows.
You're talking about, yeah. Oh, heroes, yeah.
Yeah, the heroes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That was the idea of the
yes, the starting heroes, yeah. We got Lazul, but also as a paid one, not as a free one.
Yeah, exactly. We were getting one for paying like $80 for each expansion, which is quite a bit of money.
It's a good bit of money, yeah.
Considering that is infinity% more than I've ever spent on this game.
Yep. Because you don't know what a value deal looks like. Everyone buy the welcome bundle. It's really worth it. Not anything else, though, necessarily, if you can afford it.
But there's so many characters that could be heroes, and...
And some classes that really need it.
And I think it's baffling that we didn't get any new heroes. And even the ones that we did get, oftentimes were just not even characters from World of Warcraft or anything. Sir Anoyo, you said. Mecha Jiraxis, I mean, yes, Jiraxis is an existing character, but that's about it.
Mecha Jiraxis is just a revamped version of
Lazul, I think there is a fortune teller that looks like her in WoW, but I don't think
there's a main character. She was just introduced with the old Gods expansion.
Lunara, I believe, was invented for Heroes of the Storm. I think she exists in World of Warcraft, but she's not a main character or anything.
Maiev certainly does.
And Maiev certainly does. She's a very important character. She is the Warden of Illidan Stormrage.
Correct. Who, good transition by the way, has been proposed as a hero to be used in Hearthstone. The
question obviously becomes which class,
Warlock?
Since there is no Demon Hunter class.
Yeah.
Him being partially demonic, Warlock would make sense. Maybe Rogue, but that seems far-fetched. But then again, so did...
Rogue seems weird.
So did Maiev seem kind of far-fetched. For Rogue, we had some good suggestions as well.
King Togwaggle.
Well, I mean, yes. I was gonna say Edwin Van Cleef.
Edwin Van Cleef.
Or
his daughter.
Vanessa Van Cleef, yeah.
A character that hasn't been introduced into the game of Hearthstone at all so far.
Yeah, so
originally... It would be a very decent idea.
The thought would have been, this character has a creature card, so we can't be a hero. But Medivh kind of disproved that.
Yeah.
I think it was a hero first and then a card.
Yep, but as did others.
And then...
You got Hagatha being a hero and a card at this point.
Well, yeah, a hero
card
and a creature.
And of course, all the Death Knights had their own hero cards later.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jiraxxus, in a way, is a card. You could argue Cernoio is a card.
Annoyotron is a card.
But by virtue of Annoyotron and Madame Module...
Madame Azul is both a card and a hero.
Yes.
With the Rise of Shadows expansion.
She came out at the same time. So, yeah... That argument is out the window.
It's possible. It's most definitely possible.
Which, I mean, basically already makes almost every vaguely humanoid legendary card, especially class legendaries, a potential hero.
Exactly.
Varian Rin.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Prophet Velen.
Exactly. Like, just... That's how easy it is already. And that's just characters that are in the game and just the first two that literally came to our minds right there.
Yeah, and those make a lot of sense because they're iconic cards.
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind a Houndmaster Shaw either. I like the character a lot.
Yeah, this is Houndmaster Shaw. I'm not sure if he's original to Hearthstone, but he's definitely not a major character in WoW.
There's Crowley.
But he totally fits. Yeah, Crowley as well.
Make Gen Greymane a hero.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he's rotated out of standard, so iconic character, make him hero. Why not, right?
But even the standard argument is not even necessary. With Madame Lazul, we saw, like, you could literally...
right. But he should be in the game because he's a very important character. He should be in the game. So at least make him as a hero, you know.
I mean, the same argument can be made for Varian, who is not the classic legendary. Yeah. For Warrior, which would be Grommash Hellscream, who I don't think is a good candidate for hero.
Probably not a hero.
Because you already have a son.
We have... Who?
Garrosh.
He's a son?
Yeah.
I thought they were brothers.
No.
Their son?
Yeah.
What was I missing there? Why did they grow up thinking they were brothers?
Probably because you're not too entrenched in the lore of Warcraft.
That's very, very weird.
And you probably just knew that they had the same last name and just kind of figured because they look about the same age by virtue of the pictures being taken from different time periods.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's what it was. That's what was me figuring that.
I'm pretty sure by the time that the Garrosh picture originally depicts, Grom's already dead anyways.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Son. Fair enough. I thought they were brothers. So, what class do you think should be on the forefront of getting the next hero?
I mean, let's see. There is some that don't have any free heroes at all.
Like Warrior,
like Mage, Priest. Well, Priest had one. With Tyrande.
Priest had one with Tyrande.
Which I guess is the next hero we're getting and probably the only one this year.
Yep. And now Priest has another one with Madame Azul.
Well, yeah, but I was saying free ones.
Yeah, but okay, so a class that hasn't got one in a while. Free or non-free.
Fair enough.
So Warrior only has 2 heroes in total.
That's not a lot.
That's not a lot. You got Garrosh and you got Magni. And Magni is still purchasable in the store.
Yes.
But you pay $10 for a hero portrait and a card pack.
That's crazy. And I don't think
I'd much rather buy some packs.
And I can 100% guarantee you those didn't sell well.
No.
You see Magni and Valyria...
Windrunner, yeah.
There's too many Windrunners.
Also Khadgar.
Yeah. Khadgar isn't one of those, I believe.
Is he not? I thought he is.
Wasn't he part of a charity promotion at some point, which is the reason why they can't... people are asking about getting back.
Maybe.
It's Medivh you're thinking of.
It's Medivh, right? He's in the the first one, correct?
You see those every now and again, and I think Medivh was the most popular one. But first of all, you don't see him a lot. Second of all, they didn't make any new ones, which if they were printing money, they would.
Yep.
And there is no interaction with Illyria Windrunner facing either Sylvanas or Valeera.
Really?
No, not Valeera.
Vereesa.
Vereesa, thank you.
That's lazy.
Which has been pointed out before. It's like, Vereesa Windrunner has interactions for some heroes, but not her own sister.
So they're all sisters, or is there also okay?
Same for Sylvanas. They don't have any interactions, and they actually asked it in the most recent FAQ, which we talked about on a Hearthstone report like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
That was also a question that was asked.
We
didn't talk about that because it isn't impactful because it's just a hidden interaction. But they basically, and I'm oversimplifying here a bit, but they said it's not worth it. Which basically...
No one plays Illyria.
Basically. Right. They didn't explicitly state it, but they were like, oh, we're making some of the more prominent interactions that players... They were talking around the point.
Yeah. You know what they're saying. Yeah, exactly.
So, we're probably not getting any direct...
Is there a brand Magni thing?
Yes, those are brothers.
But is there an interaction?
I don't know. I think so.
I think there is, right?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe.
So
other idea maybe for a rogue hero would be Reno Jackson.
Hearthstone original character, very prominent character in Hearthstone.
We're gonna be rich.
And definitely one that's worth it. I mean, that's kind of what they've been going for lately. It seems.
Hearthstone original characters.
Popular Hearthstone characters. I mean, Rastakhan is a bigger WoW character, but a lot of the other characters. Lazul was first introduced in Hearthstone as a character.
Yeah.
You got the Suranoyo, which is completely original for Hearthstone. You got Mecha Jaraxxus because of the popularity of Jaraxxus in Hearthstone. Yeah. Yes, he was also a demon summoned by
Wilfred Fizzlebang.
Thank you.
See, there's my there's my World of Warcraft knowledge.
I was thinking I was like, it's one of the gnomes.
Which was the Warlock. Pop quiz. What was he intending to summon?
Oh, I think it was trying to summon some kind of smaller demon for the tournament.
He was trying to summon a fearsome Doomguard.
Oh.
But then he summoned Jirax.
Yeah, because that was during the Argent tournament, I think was called or something, which is what the Grand Tournament expansion is based on. And so that's also why he is in there, not Jiraxxus, but Wilfred. But yeah. They've had a lot of characters that became popular through Hearthstone. It would make perfect sense to have Rafam, Boom, Togwaggle be further heroes.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they could have made it a cool thing where in the beginning of the expansion, every player got randomly one of the four as a hero.
Yeah.
And then for every bundle that you bought, you get another one. So you could get up to 3. Which, of course, for completionists would suck. But
for bundle prices. Yeah.
But that would add some of the... You're not necessarily seeing everyone run Boom, because not everyone has Boom.
JJ coining new words out here.
But completionist is the word.
Completionist? Is that a word?
Yeah. It definitely...
Isn't it just collector?
Definitely in video game...
That seems like collector with extra steps.
Definitely in the video game jargon, it's a word.
Very dubious. Fair enough.
So... You wouldn't encounter the same hero over and over because people would only have up to 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Most people would have 1 or 2, and you would just have a lot.
But everybody would have one at least.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone gets something. You still get something big to sell for the packs. You're getting even more for buying both packs, which is normally kind of disincentivized by there being some duplication in there anyways. And there wouldn't be in that case.
I can see that makes sense.
You're pleasing both the free-to-play players as well as adding something to the pay-to-win players. Mm-hmm. That would have been a good way to do that. And because you do have 5 villains, which one am I forgetting? Which one was not noteworthy enough for me to mention there?
Hagatha?
Hagatha, right.
But
yeah,
she has a hero card, and Hagatha.
But, Boom has one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just the 5 from the Evil League. Just have all 5 be available.
Maybe.
And people get up to 60% of them. That's fair enough.
Well, that's fine. So, I'm assuming that... So, we're thinking Warrior might be the next class that should be getting a new hero.
Well, yes.
Definitely, because they only have 2.
Is there any other class that only has 2? Besides them?
At this point, is
Hunter?
Our Shaman has 3 with Rastakhan.
Hunter?
Hunter has Rexar and Illyria, is that all?
I think so. I mean, you only ever encounter Rexars, don't you?
Yeah. Zul'jin,
and, like, Illyria, like, every 100th Hunter game that you queue up.
So Hunter would be and Warrior. So what would be an idea for Hunter, first of all, maybe? A good idea?
From the top of my head, actually, no.
Maybe Illidan.
Well, you said Shaw as
Master Shaw
as a Hearthstone character.
I'll also take Gen Greymane as a Hunter.
He's
Hambit.
He's more of a king/soldier type. Again, that is.
I'll take Hambit.
He would probably be closer to Warrior if we looked at both Magni and Garrosh actually being political leaders of the respective factions or races at the very least. Magni wasn't an alliance leader.
How about Hambit?
Hambit Nessing Warrior, yeah.
That's possible.
Perfectly reasonable, yeah.
He's literally a hunter.
Yes, and he has already made 2 appearances in Legendaries in the game.
Maybe Harrison Jones, or the Reno Jackson sort of route.
The explorers / Tomb Raiders, the Indiana Jones type characters, those do strike me most as rogues, probably.
Yeah. I guess hunter is a very narrow occupation then.
I mean, you could put you could easily put one of the trolls, like Zul'jin or Vol'jin or someone like that. Right. Because those guys were, and a lot of trolls were, what would they call it, like shadow hunters or something?
I don't know that.
They have kind of, I mean, that's the reason, kind of the logic why Vol'jin was a priest card, because they also have a connection to that kind of stuff. But technically, flavor-wise, they are basically kind of like hunters. You could argue maybe even someone like Illidan, like the demon hunters. Yeah, Illidan. They aren't hunters in that way as other hunters, but
Illidan is a demon hunter?
Yes.
But he's also a demon himself?
Partially demonic, and that's kind of what demon hunters do, actually. But
he's Malfurion's brother.
Yes.
Is Malfurion demonic?
No.
What happened there?
That actually...
Does that involve some dubious ceremonies involving pentagrams and stuff?
Not directly, but basically.
Alright.
There's actually 2 steps to how Illidan happened. There's
conception and corruption.
There is the highborn night elves when they originally threw their was it the night well, one of the many magical wells, but at the time the only one. But when they accidentally summoned some demons, might have been partially intentional because they wanted power. Then Illidan was corrupted. He made a pact with a demon there, which gave him some power. And then later, he got more power from the Skull of Gul'dan.
Okay.
So he got 2 power-ups. I think the first time is when he got the eyes, and the second time I think is when he got the wings and the horns and everything.
Okay, fair enough.
And now...
How about like...
Now Demon Hunters, at least under Illidan, the so-called Illidari, they actually kill and consume part of a demon to gain similar powers to what Illidan has. So they all become...
part of a demon, okay.
So they all become partially demonic to be better at hunting demons.
I'm also going to start consuming parts of demons now.
Yes.
Do you have... Can I have like a part of your pet demon, JJ?
I don't currently have a pet demon, but I might summon one
Have you been to your basement recently? I believe you have a pet demon. How about one of the human forms of the dragon aspects?
Yes.
How about like Netharian?
Exactly, Natharian makes sense as a... What is Deathwing? What is he?
Could he be a hunter? Hunter. I'm still talking hunter here.
Oh, you're specifically talking hunter?
Yeah, I mean Malygos...
Ysera is probably the closest one then.
Malygos would obviously be mage.
Yeah, Malygos would be mage. Ysera would probably be druid. but druids and hunters are probably the closest thematically to each other.
Deathwing is a warrior.
Maybe even warlock, just by the fact that by virtue of being a dragon, he's kind of magical, and by virtue of being evil, he kind of fits with the association.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't have a direct connection to demons at all.
Maybe Alex Strauss is also a druid.
But actually, Deathwing as a demon makes as a warlock makes sense because
warlock. Because he discards.
I didn't even think about that. No, I was thinking in lore because the old gods creatures.
Yeah.
The void creatures that are associated with the old gods are considered demons in Hearthstone, and
so maybe
Deathwing was corrupted by the old gods, so that would make sense.
So maybe let's jump to warrior and think about that real quick. I was thinking, so first of all, Gen, yeah? Gen will be very much viable, but
makes sense.
How about the Lich King?
Oh, God.
How about the Lich King? How about the King of Liches?
Well, Ner'zhul?
What? Just the Lich
King?
King?
The original Lich King?
No, just the Lich King.
Because...
No questions asked.
Because Arthas already is a hero.
Just the Lich King, no questions.
I guess, that
doesn't matter who's wearing the mask.
I guess it would be possible, yeah.
So
both Bolvar and Arthas, of course, being paladins, Ner'zhul being a Death Knight, I believe, before becoming the Lich King.
I like the idea of the Lich King.
Yeah, that's definitely
as a warrior hero. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities, and there's also characters who haven't appeared in Hearthstone so far that can still be introduced. So let us know your opinions in the comments. What characters do you want to be introduced or remade into heroes, and for what classes, and what class should get the next hero? If you have an idea about that, then please share your thoughts with us. But I think that's enough for today, from us at least, for the first topic. We're going to hop into the halftime show. And we're getting back to the letter quizzes. Doing A, B, and C. Take number 2. So we're going through the whole alphabet again, 3 at a time at a podcast. And see if we can do better or worse. I believe, or I at least am curious to see whether those are going to be harder in the first round. Because they might become more specific.
So theoretically, you would assume that those were created after the best questions were taken up. So the questions should be worse, which probably means harder for the most part.
More specific, yeah. So we'll see. We'll hop into an A right now. And we have the world's most massive river. That's the Amazon.
Yes.
And we have thank you in Japan.
Arigato?
Arigato? Yeah, that's possible. Yup.
Cherub or seraph? That's
angels?
Those angels? Yeah, exactly. There's a few more types of angels, but...
Sunburn soothing plant. That's LOA.
Oh.
Aloe.
Aloe, yeah.
Yeah. System of segregation in South Africa. Apartheid.
Yeah.
The blacksmith's tool that might crush a cartoon
That's
character.
An anvil.
Greek fabulist.
A what?
Is it Aesop? Aesop? A-E-S-O-P? Maybe an O after, no. Aesop, yes. Water in Spanish is
aqua?
Agua.
Agua, okay.
Pantheon City is Athens.
Yes, obviously.
Sampras rival.
I've got no idea what they're talking about, to be honest.
Galaxy near the Milky Way is Andromeda.
Yes, that I would have actually known. Andromeda.
Major city in Belgium should be Antwerp. Jason Ship or Ben Affleck movie? Argon, right? Argo, right?
Argo.
The Argonauts. The Little Mermaid's first name?
Ariel.
World where Valhalla can be found?
Asgard,
right. Eggplant to a bread.
Aubergine. Yeah, how?
A-U-B.
A-U-B.
It's like spelled like a Frenchman would spell it. E-R. Yeah, terrible. Region of southern...
Yeah, French was all you had to say.
Region of southern Spain. Andalusia. Andalusia.
Fair enough.
Movie about a slave ship mutiny.
The problem is all the movie questions are asking are way too cultured for me.
Yeah, exactly. You're a pleb when it comes to movies. German luxury car maker, Audi.
Audi.
The last Tsar's youngest daughter. You should know that.
Anastasia?
Yes! And you know you should know it from?
From Sympathy for the Devil?
Yep. You missed an A, the second A. You put Anastasia. Native American tribe or attack helicopter?
Apache. One would have sufficed!
Yep. Class of Apache with the E at the end. What the fuck are you?
Fair enough.
Class of animals that includes spiders or scorpions. Arachnids.
Yeah, fair enough. I was actually thinking one tier higher, which are anthropods, which would have still applied to both.
Mr. Vespucci. Amerigo, the guy whom America was named after.
Okay.
And Österreich, which is Austria.
So, a movie about a slave ship mutiny and Sampra's rival.
Are we getting any of those? Do you know the movie about a slave ship mutiny?
I probably should have at least heard of it.
Very tough.
But, I couldn't tell you right now.
So we're giving up 2 already in the first game.
I guess.
Kind of starting off on the wrong foot. But let's see what we have then. So,
Agassi and
Amistad is the movie.
Have you ever heard of that?
The movie? No. Actually, I don't. I have not.
The movie is literally the least known one at 22%.
Wow.
The rival was actually over half at 52, barely over half. Average score is 15. We scored 22 out of 24.
The most known one was obviously the Amazon, and then the Little Mermaid's first name, and then
Fair enough.
Fantasy City.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
The world where Valhalla can be found, only a quarter of people knew that.
That surprises me a bit.
Doesn't surprise me that much.
Especially because
you're knowledgeable above average in that sort of stuff.
But especially because Norse mythology has become more popular through the Marvel movies. It surprises me that it's that unknown.
Amerigo Vespucci, Andalusia, less than half. That surprises me.
I guess a lot of people probably didn't know that Valhalla isn't one of the 9 realms.
Yeah.
So Norse mythology has 9 realms, and Asgard, Valhalla is just part of Asgard. I think there's 3 afterlives as well. There's Hell, there's Asgard, and I think there's one more.
It's also mentioned in the song Swedish Pagans by Sabaton.
Yes.
Let's get into the B quiz.
Forged in Valhalla by the hammer of Thor. Out from Asgard of Viking ship sails. Yeah.
So, we have the place to see a musical in NYC. That is New York City, and that is Broadway. There's also Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee. Oft-kissed Irish stone, the Blarney Stone.
The what?
The Blarney Stone, man. You never heard of the Blarney Stone?
No.
Dinosaur whose name means thunder lizard. Is it the Brontosaurus? Brontosaurus? Yeah.
Yes.
Nomadic ethnic group in the Middle East. Oof.
Sounds with letter B, that much I know.
Yeah, wow. What's that? Boy, blanking on that one already. Germany's top soccer league.
That would be the Bundesliga.
Sarajevo is its capital. That's Bosnia. Peninsula where the above is located. The Balkans. With a K.
Oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, makes sense.
Biggest city in New England.
Boston.
Key ingredient in pesto. Basil, right?
That... Sure. I've eaten it before.
With the S.
Yeah.
Yep.
Frodo's uncle, that will be Bilbo.
Jelly donut, JFK was one.
Berliner.
That's good, actually.
Whoops.
With an E, come on.
Yeah,
John Wilkes
Booth.
Hindu priest caste.
I don't know much about the caste system.
No. Or Hindu priests.
Well, yeah,
probably. It's a word that you definitely heard before.
Yeah.
Tough. Atoll where nuclear weapons were tested. Bikini Atoll.
What?
The Bikini Atoll.
Okay, fair enough.
He's a loser, baby, so why don't you kill Beck? Just B-E-C-K.
Is that a like a
Brummy City? Brummy City. Birmingham? I believe it to be Birmingham. With an I.
What?
B-I. It's painful. Why am I letting him type all this
I don't know.
Birmingham. Yes.
Talk about ham.
Roger, Kevin, and Sir Francis.
Bacon.
From ham to bacon. North Africa coast once famous for piracy. Oh, Christ, man. How do we not know this? Or do you?
I don't know. No.
Oh, man.
I don't know geography.
You just blank on this stuff. Like, you've heard of it for sure.
The problem is, I have a lot of random knowledge, but most of it is not general enough to apply here. I have a lot of specific knowledge, which is why I like when mythology comes up, or fiction, because those are the two things that I actually know about. Which I guess mythology is its own kind of fiction.
Man. This is terrible. Moscow's most famous theater. Bolshoi, I believe. Bolshoi?
What?
Shoi.
Shoi. Yeah.
Casino game played by 007. That's James Bond.
Yeah, but...
Is it Blackjack? That's a casino game with B. I haven't seen the movies.
Likewise. No. Oh god, how is it spelled? Baccarat is also
fucking hell.
Is also casino game.
I assume like BACCAR something. Or AT.
Yeah,
it's correct too.
Those were the only two casino games with B,
yeah.
right?
He came after Major and before Brown. Tony Blair. Can you tell me in what row he came after Major before Brown?
What
those are British prime ministers.
Okay.
Capital of West Germany.
That should be Bonn,
That's
right?
Bonn. Two-hump camel. Oh god. It's something by cat.
I was about to say might be by for two, but
by cat track or by cat tray. Nah, damn it. I can't tell you how it's spelled. Roman god of wine.
Bacchus.
Bacchus, okay. Oh man, coming to the safe today.
See, I know I'm mythology. That's like the one thing I can contribute here. And I know my West German capital.
Yeah.
That's
not how to spell Berlin. Like
I know how to spell it. I just mistyped.
Yeah.
Also, for some didn't they just move the last government building over to Berlin within the last 10 years?
Yeah. But it was
horrible bureaucratic bullshit.
It's awful. But when West Germany was a thing, then Bonn was the capital.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like for some reason decided when they
they moved it for no good reason. By the way, Bonn could have just stayed the capital.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. There was huge cost because of how they had the split capital between Bonn and Berlin.
Terrible. So time is up.
Yes,
we missed Bedouin
as the nomadic ethnic group in the Middle East.
Brahmin is the Hindu priest caste. Yeah. Barbary, oh god, that's the coast.
And the two-humped camels called Bactrian. So there was no buy in there, actually.
Terrible.
All of the ones we missed were under 40%.
Yeah.
And they were some of the least known ones.
Most known ones by far was Brahmin.
Average score is only 13. We scored 20.
What I noticed is that the average scores are much, much lower than in the first.
Yeah. And thus far, we've always been 7 points above average.
Yeah.
In all two.
I'd like to still get some perfect scores though, but every single time there's a couple things you blank. I think it was 4 of them.
But there's also over a third of the answers were known by under 50% of people.
Correct. Oh, by the way, we're gonna do C next, but by the way, real quick, if you want to, last episode we actually played GeoGuessr with footage on the podcast. So if you're interested in that, we can actually maybe make it happen so we can actually get the footage for this game as well.
Oh God.
So let me know in the comments if there's interest for that. We are going to do that so you can actually see.
I'm bad at typing.
You can actually see what JJ is typing out here. Because this needs to fall upon more eyes. So let's play the C quiz. The capital of Australia is JJ.
Canberra.
Yeah.
Canberra, yeah. So,
Cadbury. One-eyed monster of Greek mythology.
That's a cyclops.
Correct. Notorious Singapore punishment. Caning. Spanish for hot. Oh God.
It sounds something like it's Calto, right? That's Italian. Fuck. It's like Calto in Italian, but it's got to be something similar here.
It's something Calimete, I think. Dang it. Okay, Mr. D. Bergerac.
Mr. de Bergerac.
Is that French? Is it Claude, Charles? Like, put some French first names. I don't know. Prince Charles's wife. What?
Should I know that?
Camilla? French Film Festival City. It's Cannes.
Oh yeah. Right. That I would have actually known.
The Southern Tropic. What?
I believe the next one is Shakespeare, the next question, but I don't know the answer.
What?
Rivals of Montague. Isn't that the Romeo and Juliet thing? Aren't those the two families there?
Man, we suck at this.
See, I recognized the thing, I didn't know the answer though.
Dahmer or Lecter are cannibals.
Oh, right.
That's the next one. African location or Rick's Cafe, Casablanca.
Yes.
Article of clothing worn by Superman or Dracula. It's a cape. Expensive type of goat wool is cashmere.
I would have instinctively spelled with a K like the Led Zeppelin song, but yeah.
It's also completely spelled different the way it did, but it accepted it. Butter making device, a churn.
Churn, yeah. That actually could have, yeah.
Crest on the top of a rooster's head. Comb.
Oh?
Just with a B, just like the comb.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like a honeycomb, yeah.
Lord Protector of England, Oliver Cromwell. Horn of Plenty, Cornucopia.
Oh. Cornucopia.
He nailed the spelling of that one.
I'm familiar with cornucopia.
The C of a CMYK printer.
I also misspelled it and it just accepted it.
Yeah.
Cyan.
Cyan, yeah.
That's the first word that comes to my mind when I hear letters C and Y.
That's a fact. For me, it was cylinder. What Loretta Lynn's dad mind?
Coal. That was the obvious thing there.
Orphan,
copper.
Orphan child of Les Miserables.
I know the next one.
I haven't even.
Which is the
Italian version of
Aloha, which is Ciao.
Exact genetic copy is a clone. The bone that covers your brain is the cranium. And bird that often lays its eggs in other species' nests is a cuckoo. Also misspelled that terribly.
Fair enough.
So we're missing 5.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, dude. Spanish for hot, I should for sure know.
The Southern Tropics sounds like something you would know.
I should also know. Thing is, I should know them all. I probably have heard of all. But, man. I thought I was decent at memorizing stuff, man. But
so did I.
These quizzes.
I mean, think about you, not about myself.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna... Not gonna pretend.
Very specific stuff he memorizes, but
I'm really good at memorizing useless information. The problem is if it is in this quiz, it's obviously not useless.
Yeah, these quizzes sometimes are bugging me, man. We're missing 5 and we can't come up with one. That's awful. Okay, let's just see. We're gonna have to improve. We're gonna have to step up our game here for sure. It's caliente is Spanish for hot, of course. Serrano, yeah. Capricorn is the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, terrible.
Capulet was the family. That one I should have also known. Again,
and Cosette.
I've seen one of the movies. I've read parts of the play.
I haven't even, but Cosette.
There was a stupid modern version where everything was like modern day and like
also modern day speech.
No, they kept the original dialogue.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. Why did they keep that?
But they referred to like their guns as daggers and that bullshit and that kind of bullshit. And then they were, and I don't know why, but for some reason we watched it in school once.
Oh, come on, teachers.
As a matter of fact, I think we watched it in school twice.
You know why teachers are pretentious as hell sometimes. But we did absolutely terrible. I didn't like that result.
We got 19 out of 24, and the average score is 15. So this one was as well scored as the first one on average, so we comparatively did even worse here. And 80% knew Capricorn. 72% knew the Capulets.
As they should have.
Which, again, very... Caliente, 54%. Serrano, 47%. And Cosette, 24%.
Most of the one was the Cape, and then Can, and then the Cyclops. And
at least the ones were Comb for some reason, and Cosette.
Comb is... That's a very weird one.
I mean, 40% of people only knew Cyan.
Yeah. I guess the CMYK thing just can throw people off. It was like a color.
It's cyan, magenta, yellow.
Yeah. If they would have.
What does the K stand for?
What does the K stand for? That's a good question.
It doesn't stand for color, does it? Because it's just the CYM color scheme because it's additive. Because RGB is RGB is additive and CYK is subtractive. That's why they're different. Because if you want to project colors with light, like on a monitor, you would have to use additive colors.
Oh, it's just a key.
Additive colors that add up. If you add all together, add up to white. While on printing, you need to use subtractive colors that add up to black.
Correct. Damn it.
Just for the people who want to know about that.
So the A1 was
also
the
rich
B1 we did fine, and the C1 was pretty terrible.
Also, rich blacks means that your printer injects cyan into your black, making it look more black, but also wasting a lot of cyan ink. You can potentially disable that. If you want to print in black and white to not use up your colors, disable that.
Yeah.
Just extra information. Not my fact of the week, but we are getting to those.
Yes, we are getting to the fact. And we have good facts, as far as I've heard. At least I have a fantastic fact to blow some people away. So this
and my fact is about etymology, because I like having facts about etymology.
Let's give me your fact first then.
Okay. Have you heard of the person of Julius Gallius Caesar?
I've heard of the person that was Julius Gallius Caesar.
Yes. So he was kind of a big deal, you know?
Yeah. Kind of a douche, too.
Yeah, definitely. Not the point, though.
No.
He was a very famous ruler, and so influential, in fact, that pretty much a lot of monarchic rulerships after that were still affected by it, in that a lot of the terms for monarchic rulers actually come from his literal name. Like the German Kaiser and the Russian Tsar.
Wow, yeah, that makes sense.
Both originate from the name Caesar.
That makes sense. How about Caesar salad?
I believe that is also named after him, but doesn't have anything directly to do with rulership titles.
Potentially.
Which actually I thought was interesting because the title of Tsar came up in the quizzes, in the A quiz.
That's true, yeah. The last Tsar is youngest daughter. That's true. So, my fact of the week is arguably one of the most mind-blowing facts of all time that I've ever mentioned. I've had a couple of them. This is a fact that you can bring up at like every party wherever you go to, right?
So, I'm pretty sure you can bring mine up at every party you go to as well.
So this is a true fact, right? You ever heard of President John Tyler?
I have not.
So John Tyler was president of the United States, right? Very, very early on. Dude was born in 1970. No, that's a lie.
I was about to say that would be very early on.
Dude was born in 1790, okay?
That makes more sense, because he was born in 1970. He was born. He would have been born after JFK was shot.
He was born in 1790, right?
Ooh, the guy must have been pretty old when he was president.
Yes. Well, no.
Oh,
the United States was born in 1776.
So it was really early.
It was very, very early president. So
because you said early, but
yeah, he was one of the first.
Okay,
so that guy, President Tyler, born in 1790, today in 2019, has 2 living grandsons.
1790.
That is 3 generations. 3 generations that are, say, for a couple of years, as old as the United States of America.
Wow, that is quite.
Because Tyler, like in his 70s or 80s, had a kid with like his 15th wife or something, and then one of his sons or several of his children also had kids when they were like 80 or something. And now there's 2 senior citizens in the United States who are grandsons of President John Tyler. That's insane. I mean, that's.
I mean, normally there's a few more generations in between there.
Yeah.
For that kind of distance to happen.
Exactly.
That is pretty extreme.
So from President Tyler's birth to these guys now, That's a long time. That's over 200 years. It's 230 years.
And considering that, what I've learned in school is that a generation is usually calculated in 20 years, I believe it was, which doesn't seem very true to current day. I would probably
20, 30.
go closer to like 30, but still, like
it's crazy. It's insane.
Like 70 to 80, that's a bit of a jump there for generations.
So 3 generations of a family
like
that have
every generation of that family basically covers 3 generations of other families.
3 generations of a single family have basically seen the entire history of the United States. That's crazy.
That is
pretty insane.
Crazy.
So you can go ahead and use that fact. There's also a YouTube video about those 2.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. So, my fact of the week, your fact of the week. That's our facts. We have a second topic. And what is that second topic? We do have a second
topic. So, once again, we're talking about Hearthstone.
Yes. More specifically, competitive Hearthstone.
Yeah. So, a lot of people have proposed the idea that competitive Hearthstone is dead now that they've changed from Conquest to Specialist. Yeah. And I would just want to talk about the pros and cons of the formats. And
yeah.
Because the thing is...
Generally, I prefer the Conquest format quite a lot.
The thing is, and I guess the first thing is we should probably explain the format.
Yeah, you couldn't go ahead and do that. We'll have a sip of this. No, I won't because the ball's empty.
So the way Specialist works is you have one basic deck, and then you basically make 2 copies of that deck with slight alterations. You can change
where's catering? Awful.
You can change up to 5 cards from your base deck to the altered deck. I believe it is required that they are of the same class.
Yeah.
Because theoretically you could make a deck that only has 5 class cards in it. So the idea is that you're basically, just like sideboarding in other card games, you have the option to, after your first match, switch to the second or third option. You can switch freely. The only requirement is that you have to play the original version in the first game of every matchup. You play, I believe, 3 games, and it's just best 2 out of 3 wins. And the Conquest format, you bring 4 decks that are specifically of different classes. One gets banned, and then you have the best 3 out of 5.
You have to win with all your decks. Exactly. That's the standard one that you've probably seen if you watched the recent World Championship, and all the tournaments before that. Basically, that was Conquest format. The way we also played the Hearthstone Challenge on TrashcanTV.
Well, we had a slight alteration because we didn't have banning in there, for example. But but
the idea is you need to win with all the decks you bring.
Yeah, and the idea with the Conquest format, I think, shows how good you are in a bit more of a generalized way in Hearthstone, while the Specialist format more or less showcases how good you are with one specific deck.
That's why it's called the Specialist format.
Yeah. And
I do not like it that much. I much prefer the Conquest.
I like the idea of the Specialist format. I don't like how it works in practice.
The idea is that you bring a versatile deck and then you make it more versatile by bringing tech options to all the other decks that you believe that your opponents will be bringing.
So to be fair, the Specialist format more closely resembles how a lot of other trading card games...
Right.
Well, other trading card games that say, with Hearthstone not being a trading card game, but a collectible card game because...
Trading cards feature Blizzard. We need it. I've said it for years. I've said it for as long as I've been playing Hearthstone. Why can't we not trade cards?
Because it's not economically feasible.
Like other games have it. Madden has it. Like Ultimate Team, FIFA, hockey, NBA. Every single Ultimate Team mode has it.
None of those are free to play, for starters.
Yeah.
So these, of course, Hearthstone finances itself through people buying packs. If you could trade, pack buying would go down.
Well, so does those games for the most part. The actual game, of course, Madden costs money to purchase, but then the Ultimate Team mode is free to start, and you don't have to put money into it. But still, they make most of the money off of selling those bundles.
Yeah, but with the Hearthstone card pool, I think you could relatively fast. First of all, by how easy you can earn cards.
Yeah.
If you then also add trading on top, you would be pretty much
We need trading. We need card trading in Hearthstone. It needs to be a trademark, for sure. Maybe also purchasing cards for gold. And you can put a little tax on it, you know? That's how it works in Madden. 5% tax for every transaction.
Yeah. The problem is you don't really get much out of just having players have less gold in total. Doesn't really get you as much as... Also, I don't think is there a way to buy a gold? I don't think there is there?
No.
because that would be kind of the first thing that you would have to add if you
maybe dust. Dust would be the more appropriate currency then, because that you can indirectly buy through packs.
Yeah, sure. But the topic itself, of course, here is about the formats.
Yeah.
And Specialist format, I like a lot the idea with the sideboarding and everything. The problem is that we're so used to now seeing a very diverse set of matchups just with two players facing each other. And the problem here is that with Specialist, a lot of matchups are very polarized, and there's going to be a lot more mirrors.
Yes.
Because oftentimes you'll see that like 60% of people will bring the same archetype.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it was. I think at first it was Midrange Hunter, now it's, I believe, the Tempo Rogue are like by far over half the people just bring it.
Yeah.
Which also used to be the case in Conquest, but it would be one of the decks that they bring.
Yeah, and
sometimes even two or three. But they would, even for like the pros, like the best of the best, there would usually be like one oddball deck in there that they're playing that is more of a personal choice rather than like the best thing. Yeah. And you don't really get that with Specialist as much.
That's true. That's something that I don't like too much about it. Also, I just like to see more decks being played, more different matchups.
Yeah,
you know?
I like the idea that you can see different variations of the same deck and different tech choices.
And you still have to be versatile with planning and managing what you bring, because you're going to go up against a versatile lineup as well. You're going to go up against different decks, so you got to make sure that all your decks have potential outs and winning chances against other potential decks.
Yeah, I like the idea of going from like a mid-range style deck in Specialist and then having a more control-heavy option, having a more aggressive option as backups. That can then showcase your skills. It's interesting that we've never seen any unique to Specialist kind of archetypes, because the format kind of lends itself to build. I've said it originally, you could have built a version of Midrange Hunter that runs a lot of secrets before the rotation, and could have built a full Midrange Hunter and a full Secret Hunter as kind of backups. Never really happened that well, I guess, because the halfway deck wouldn't end up being that strong, and you would have to play one game with it. I'm surprised we haven't seen anything like that, where it's significantly different from the ladder list because of more tech choices. I do like that it showcases the versatility of decks and how, with them being built slightly differently, you can very much skew your winners against certain matchups.
Yeah.
The problem is, oftentimes, you'll have the matchup and it's like Control Warrior versus like Aggro Shaman, and it's like, okay, this is gonna be won by the Warrior like almost always.
80% of the time,
It doesn't matter what the tag choices in the individual decks are, and as a matter of fact, the Control Warrior can be like, oh, you're an aggro deck? I'll slot into my tag choice that has even more board clears.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, what is the aggro deck gonna do? You can't add any late game value because you're never gonna win that game with late game value. And sure, you can add more pressure, but it's still gonna die to
not gonna do much, exactly.
So, I don't like that aspect, where it's like, a lot of games are pre-decided. But I definitely do like the flexibility of what the Specialist format offers, and I feel like that probably at this point hasn't been fully explored yet, how much
I guess, I mean, we're gonna be seeing it more in all the mainstream tournaments now.
Yeah, with the Grand Masters, I think they're calling it now.
And maybe after a year of play, we've seen a World Championship with it, and we can evaluate it better and see if that's actually the system that we want. And if not, I mean, go back.
A lot of people have said that this is the death of competitive Hearthstone. I think it's a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen that much of it yet. Personally, I haven't seen very much of it at all so far.
And as I actually haven't seen it in play either, I must admit. I've only seen statistics on like what decks are being brought and some deck lists that were popular and that kind of stuff. I do, however, think that, again, it's an overreaction to say that competitive Hearthstone is dying, because, as you said, in the worst case scenario, we'll just revert to how it was. Yeah.
After a while, maybe after a year or so. If it really turns out bad.
One thing about the Specialist format that seems crazy is the idea that Hearthstone now has sideboarding in a very convoluted way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why don't you just add sideboarding to the game? As other games do it.
It would change the game very drastically, but maybe like add a specific legendary card that allows you to do that.
Well, if you do sideboarding the way that other games do it, it doesn't really work on the ladder anyways, because the ladder games are all best of one. Yeah. Sideboarding, usually the way it works is you bring your main deck, you play your opponent, and after the game, you can swap out in Magic, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh! It's 15 cards in your side deck. You can swap some of those cards out for cards in your deck.
Yeah.
And then you play another game. And then if both games weren't won by the same person, you're playing till one person wins two, basically. Yeah. So
the idea that I was thinking of for a specific card with that effect would be, for example, you create your deck, and when that specific card is in there, that's for the legend, then you can add like 3 more cards to the deck as your kind of sideboard or like joker options or whatever, and then the card has Battlecry discover one of the 3 cards.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before.
Some
it's
of that.
It's definitely a good idea, but I personally would not at all hate it if there was specifically for tournaments, and that could just generally be an option for friendly matches to be like, okay, like we're now doing best of 3 or best of 5 or whatever you want to go for, and just have the option to add to any deck a sideboard of, I mean, Hearthstone has small decks, let's say 5 to 10 cards. 10 is probably already way too much.
Yeah, 5 is, I think, 5.
5 cards, which is kind of what the specialist form is aiming for anyways. And then just offer to, like, after the first match, now you both have, like, a minute
to change cards.
To swap out cards.
Yeah.
And then you have the next match. You get a minute again until however many we said were won by one person. That could potentially work as a secondary ladder mode as well, but that probably wouldn't be what the Hearthstone player base wants.
Yeah, probably not.
Magic on what is it called? Magic Arena currently offers both a best of 3 and a best of 1 mode.
Right.
And the main competitive mode, however, is best of 1. Although, the main ladder is best of 1, I should say. Although the main competitive mode in Paper Magic still is best of 3.
All right.
Similar to the specialist format, which is what I think is interesting.
What's
because
Paper Magic? Is that when you play with actual cards in real life? Okay.
That just refers to playing with cards,
Paper Magic. It sounds like some origami tricks or something.
Yeah, no. That's just playing Magic Gathering with actual physical
it's like
cards.
Clock Magic in South Park. It means you got roosters to play Magic the Gathering for you, and they're really, really good because they're trained for it.
Yeah. So that's definitely interesting because it seems like Hearthstone is trying to move towards what more established games are doing, although Hearthstone is pretty established in its own right, while moving away from the unique and charming tournament format that it previously had.
Yeah. I do also like the other one. We'll see where it goes. If this turns out to be really, really popular, then it might stick. If not, we'll go back.
But again, I think that both have their advantages. I just like Conquest more.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach it with a critical eye, but an open mind. That's how we
honestly, it would be really cool if they had like an alternate Conquest format where it is like, oh, you have your 4 decks, each have a 5-card sideboard, and if you have to go into a second match with the same deck,
you can kind of swap them out.
You can swap out some cards knowing what comes up, or even because you know the matchups in advance, you could be like, okay, before the match, even before the first match with your deck starts, you have the chance to sideboard.
Yeah.
Because you know the matchups. So, if you have to play your mid-range hunter against a control deck, you're putting some more late game value options. If you're playing against an aggro deck, you're putting some more board clears, maybe, something like that.
Maybe.
Whichever way it has to be.
Yeah, seems to me.
Putting some more pressure if you
seems like ideas. Maybe they'll experiment around with that too. But now we're gonna have to look at
kind of like a hybrid format. I think
see how the specialist format works out.
The sweet spot would be.
I guess also looking for feedback from the actual players. They're gonna be looking for feedback from the fans. And let us know your opinion though. Which one do you like best? Which one would you prefer to play? And which one do you prefer to watch for sure?
I guess in the end of the day, it does come down to like Twitch viewership numbers and tickets to live events and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. That's the numbers they're going to be looking at. Couldn't agree more.
I don't think it matters much what you think It matters more of how that affects their income.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line.
But that's what it's going to. That's what it's going to be turning down to.
You vote with your wallet, or in this case, your viewer as well.
Exactly.
Because that indirectly also is money.
Yeah, correct. So, I think that's enough for today. Let us know what you think about all things Hearthstone, and if you want to see the halftime show quizzes with live footage of JJ butchering the English language in terrible ways. Also, in 2 weeks.
Half that's like given names and bullshit like that. That's not even English.
2 weeks. You know what's happening in exactly 2 weeks?
Podcast number 100.
Podcast number 100. That's 3-digit podcast. I've revealed it earlier on our Discord already. Well, not revealed, kind of teased. The hint is that we're going to be going a little bit international on that podcast.
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it.
It's a pretty good way to be putting it. So you've been staring, I'm just going to say you've been staring at the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area for 99 podcasts.
Yeah, that's not going to be the case in number 100.
Listening to not so beautiful commentaries in this podcast. And we're going to...
There's a reason why we aren't on the picture.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a change of pace there. Let's just keep it with that. And it's going to be groundbreaking, and it's going to be pretty good, and it's going to have consequences for the following time on our channel as well. So maybe if you have a prediction, let us know. But we're going to close this thing up because it's late, and we're going to close it off the way we always do with the song of the week. JJ.
Yeah, songs of the week.
Give me your song of the week. What is your song of this specific week?
Let's think. Okay, I've honestly, I kind of have 4 songs in mind, but I'm just gonna...
You have not decided yet?
Pick, let's pick the Gates of Babylon by Volbeat.
I was gonna pick that.
Now, see, that is my song of the week now.
Now, see, I'm gonna have to...
That's your problem.
I'm going to erase it off my list here.
See, that's the problem with asking me first.
Yeah, terrible.
Because I literally had 4 different Volbeat songs in my mind, and last second decided that was gonna be the one.
That's what I thought. Okay, let me quickly run to my music list and see what recent songs I have. and then I'm gonna pick one of those. So that's actually one that I was definitely thinking about. You know what, I'm just gonna go with.
I think it's either my favorite or my second favorite. It's pretty close.
It's better than either The Bliss or Black Rose.
Yes.
I can't call it for sure. Maybe at the end of the year we'll do music recaps anyway. But man, Volbeat's for real.
Yeah.
They're for real, dude. Really good band. If we're ranking top 10 bands, don't be surprised at some point again.
Yeah, I mean,
if we're doing power teams
for
again,
sure, definitely a candidate.
Good God.
Interesting because I've been tangentially aware that the band exists.
Yeah, because
of the name of the band and everything.
Yeah, because everyone wears their T-shirts
for a while.
Yeah,
I've listened to like 1 or 2 of their songs on a car ride once on the side. And I was like, this isn't actually bad, but never actually bothered to look them up.
Exactly.
But wow.
But I think by far their best album also is the most recent one, released in 2016.
I'm not sure. I definitely know that a lot of the songs on that album, which is I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's
Seal the Deal.
Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie. Yeah, exactly. I know that I also have a lot of songs from other albums from them, but always just like 1 or 2. I haven't listened to the full albums yet.
I really like that one.
Also, by the way, if you want to check out Volbeat, they have a YouTube channel.
They do.
They have the full albums on there for a few of the more recent ones.
That's true.
So just
they're from Denmark.
They are from Denmark,
and they're not all a huge internet troll. If someone can get that reference, I'm going to give you one more hint. Von Miller. If someone can point out that reference in the comments, you got a shout out at some point, maybe. My song of the week is going to be Ferry Cross the Mersey by Gary and the Pacemakers.
Okay.
Completely different style. Little bit on the older side, but a very good song, and I like it. It's an interesting song. Just a nice and soothing song when you're not feeling all rock and roll, feeling a little bit country. It's not even that much country, but it's a decent song. So, what's your song of the week? Viewer music share playlist in the description below.
And
there's a link.
Because we've had some complaints about not working too well, because apparently YouTube isn't very intuitive about how that works.
That's not.
You may also post a link in the comment section of this video.
Yes, if you can't get a song added to the playlist, put it in the comments. That's also fine. So, thank you for listening to Trash Can Trash Talk TV podcast. 100 coming up soon in 2 weeks. Let us know what you think. Opinions in the comments. Drop a like and a subscription. Go join our Discord server as well. Banner is on the screen the whole time. It's a great server. We have a lot of great people there. Like I said, a couple of people already suggested topics. Really cool.
And so can you.
Yeah, really cool dudes over there.
If you want, you can also suggest topics in the comments,
Sure.
But just generally for discussion, it's always better to go to the Discord because we usually take sometimes like up to a day to respond to YouTube comments because we don't check them all the time, and we usually have Discord running in the background.
Though we respond to every YouTube comment.
Yeah.
That is, I have responded to years old YouTube comments.
But yeah, so if you want to get more instantaneous answers, usually Discord will work. We're also not on there 24/7, but definitely more than YouTube comments.
Also, everyone in the Discord is automatically a goat.
Yeah, and also, we're not the only helpful people on the Discord.
Yeah, that's true.
We've had people ask questions there, were answered by other viewers, so...
That's true. Great community, so go ahead and do that. We will see you in the next one. JJ!
That's it?
That's it.